Brendan's gonna do all the talking for you.
Welcome to the Brendan and Daddy Show. My awesome wife asked me to share something we mentioned in a previous vlog about what we call the real true date. And I have to give great thanks to my sister and brother, well, my brother, I should say my brother, Steve, and his wife Natalie, because they gave us some very good advice. You would say common advice, maybe even common sense. But I love what Dr. David Bednar says: common sense is not always common practice. Basically, we don't always do what we know we should do. My friend Zig Ziglar said, you only have to floss the ones you want to keep. So this idea came in a gift card. We received a nice card from them when we got married. It's been almost 4 years now. Steve and Natalie gave us this little card. And I think I mentioned this to Natalie. I don't know if she even knows. It made such a big impact. It was one of the most meaningful. We received many wonderful gifts. This one was a little gift card to a restaurant. But the most meaningful part was the words inside the card. Now, they have been very happily married for, well, I'll just say at least a few decades now. And they're great examples in that way, in many ways, as a family. Very strong, happy family with 6 kids. And they were teaching us a simple thing in the card that I think is very important nowadays about happy marriages. And I'm learning that having a happy marriage, I think it's one of the most desirable blessings or qualities of people in the world. Unfortunately, I think it's one of the most difficult for many people, and it can sometimes be, it's not always easy. However, I think it can be very simple if we let it be. For example, oh, by the way, actually, take a little tangent here. I learned the other day the number one, this has been debated, I mean there's been a lot of discussion about this, books written on it, but do you know the number one cause of divorce? We don't even say that D word, by the way, but I'll say it now. Do you know what the number one cause is? A lot of people think it's money or intimacy issues or communication. The number one cause of divorce is marriage. Okay, dumb joke. Okay. So I really believe that one of the best ways that you can contribute to the happiness of your family, to the happiness of your children, and your extended family, and your society, and the world. And there's a lot of talk about heroes nowadays. I think it's pretty simple to be a hero, and you don't have to be on the news and in the limelight, but just create a very happy marriage, which takes work, by the way. It's a relationship. There's different ships we need to build in our life. And relationship, the happy marriage relationship is one of those that I feel we're constantly building. And so I'll share just a couple quotes that have helped me love my eternal companion. And I believe that love is a verb. That's something that my friend Tommy Monson has taught. He actually taught. He's actually a friend of our family. You know, he was friends with my great grandfather and my grandpa, and he's an amazing leader. Tommy said that you should love your. No, he said choose your love, and then love your choice. He also taught me something so valuable when I was single, and I was single for a long time. Got married when I was 38. He said, instead of trying to find the perfect mate, find the perfect spouse, or in my case now, instead of wishing many of us wish our spouse would be more patient, or maybe more ambitious, or maybe more loving, or maybe more clean, a cleaner person, organized, whatever. He said, instead of wishing that person would change, or instead of trying to find the perfect person, why don't you just work on becoming that perfect person? And in the becoming of that, you will attract what you desire. I guess another way of saying it is, instead of pointing the finger, point the thumb and look at ourselves. That's a goal or a challenge for everybody. Actually, speaking of challenge, I want to ask if anyone would like to, I want to invite everyone to write in the comments, write something that just give us maybe a habit or a ritual or some tradition that has made your marriage happier. Something that has been meaningful, and it's probably something very simple and easy. So this real true date idea, in the card that we received, I started to say the gift card for the restaurant. That was nice. That was really cool. I'll always remember that. But I will internalize, and I continually strive to do this, internalize the message that was in the card. I need to find that card. It's in a box of papers and memorabilia. It had 3 or 4 little good suggestions, and Natalie wrote in there something to the effect, one of the bullet points or stars was to go on a date alone, the two of you, at least once a week. So that was, like I say, the common sense. But why do we do what we do when we know what we know? Oh, okay. So Nicole and I were, I learned early in not in our marriage, I learned early in our dating and courtship that just because you go on a date, go through the motions, quote unquote, doesn't mean you're doing it as meaningful as you could. And so gentlemen, you know that the ladies, you just want to please your lady, right? That's the goal for most guys. I mean, yes, we're selfish, we're guys, but nobody's perfect. But we do want to please our wife and help her be happy. Nobody can make you feel that it's a choice. Anyway, we influence. So the thing that we came up with, I realized we were going on these dates, and sometimes Nicole was very pleased. She was so excited. She loved every minute of it. Other times, it wasn't that rewarding. It wasn't that great of an experience. So I would start asking her, what makes a good date? And we came up with this phrase called the real true date. For a date to be real and true, and again, this is just us. I tried to remember, we had written down some guidelines, and I have those probably in that same box, but now I've just got it like it's common practice. Still need to remind myself many times, but we made some guidelines. For example, no cell phones. Turn that thing off, put it away. Obviously, emergencies, babysitter, whatever. That leads to the next point. Leave the kids at home with someone. Now this cute little beautiful thing is an exception right now, but pretty soon it's important to be just with the one that you love the most and take a break from everything and everyone else and just go enjoy each other. And we also made a note that this was surprising to me. Not really, if you think about it, but Nicole taught me that a real true date was not going to a big family get-together or family gathering. It was not a big church event. Again, maybe exceptions here and there. And it was getting out, being out, and usually one thing that helps fulfill Nicole's love language and needs is going to dinner, I don't think that's a love language. If you've studied the book, The 5 Love Languages, it's so amazing to learn about that and so helpful in your relationship. But as I was asking Nicole earlier, what are the components or the attributes? What are the things that we made a note of for real true dates? And she said, well, she was really kind of cute. She said, it's just me, 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 and P.S. me. So, quality time. That's Nicole's number 1 or number 2. Love, it's number 1. Love language is quality time. And so that's what it's all about, I think, is just being, we teach Brookie that we as a couple need to be strong for the relationship to be strong, and therefore the family can be strong and loving and those qualities we seek for. And the goal should be, in my opinion, to go and be with that person, like I said, and spend time with that person. I learned at church that children spell love. You know how they spell love? How do children spell love? T-I-M-E. Well, guess what? My wife spells it the same way. And I'm a big kid, so I spell it that way. And so do your best. This is my advice to me. I should do my best to just do what worked. Some things work so well we quit doing them. So just because you got out of school or even graduated, not a good reason. That's no reason. So just because you got out of school or you graduated even, that's no reason to stop reading books. Keep reading. Just because you got married, I don't understand why we slip and slack and don't do the things that got us here, that made us happy. And so that's my hope for us, that we'll create stronger families by working on the core, the keystone, or the cornerstone, and the foundation. And I look forward to hearing about the comments that you write that help your family. Have a great week.
Okay, friend. Should we do your 7-month update? You're actually 7 months and 2 weeks. It's a little late, but we can still do the update, right? Does that sound good?
You love Mama so much. I don't blame you. She does take really good care of this little mister. All right.